What's up, Internet? I'm William from MamaJ'sFlavorShop.com. Um, Sitting here going through emails this morning. We get a lot of emails, man. A lot of emails asking, is mixing e-liquid really that easy? Is using Mama J's really that easy? And the answer is yes. So I thought, Sunday, got nothing better to do. I'm hanging out at the house. Let's make a YouTube video. So we're gonna try it, man. I've never made a video before. I don't know where to look. I don't know how it sounds. It's probably gonna be really awkward, but let's just be awkward together and get to it. Um, you're gonna need, three things. Basically, obviously, is nicotine, propylene glycol, and vegetable glycerin. That's going to give you your base to either just vape plain, flavorless. A lot of people like that. I gotta have me some flavor, man. And some flavorings. The other kind of things you might gonna need is either a digital scale or some syringes, some empty bottles, and a set of gloves. Um, you can get PG, VG, nicotine from several different places. I like to use Vapors Tech nicotine. It's to me the cleanest nicotine there is available right now. Your flavors really pop. You can taste your flavors. Um, that might not make sense to you, but after trying, different nicotines from all over the place, not just here in America, Vaporsec is the best. That's debatable, but whatever. Let's move on to it. Propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin. Good place to get those is Bowl City Vapor. They got a great price, man. For 120 mils of PG, you're gonna pay like 425. VG, same thing, 120 mils for 425. You can pick up 120 mils of 100 milligram nicotine from Vapors Tech for right around 20 bucks. Um, so that alone, 30 bucks to make god awful amount of e-liquid right there. Next thing is flavors. You can get flavors from the two places I mentioned above. There's eCig Express. There's eLiquid Mart. There's all kinds of places to get flavors, man. Mama J's, we carry Flavor Art. Um, if you do get into mixing, I suggest everybody read up on Flavor Art a little bit. Um, we believe it's the safest thing you can vape. Um, Vaping's obviously never 100% safe. So you got to research what you're putting into your body. And that's another big thing for me and DIY e-liquid is I know what I put into my mix. I'm not, wondering why is my liquid pink or is there sparkles in that? Does I get popcorn lung from that? I know exactly what's going into my juice, and it makes me feel a lot better about it. Um, so, I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. I'm going to have to put a little box up here because I don't have all this fancy stuff all you YouTube guys have. But what I've got here is just a little digital scale. Um, that way, for me, it's the easiest way to mix. It's the cleanest way to mix. I don't have any syringes out. I don't have, big mess of junk everywhere. You take an empty bottle and tear it out to zero. And then I've got a recipe here, and everybody's going to need to get, where the hell is this recipe that I have? Here's the recipe under the box. You're going to need to go online and find an online calculator for e-liquid. It's super, super important that you do this. You can assume what milligram you're making because you bought a 6 milligram base or you bought a 100 milligram base. The only real way to know what your nicotine is just get a calculator, man. They're free. They're online. Get you a calculator. I'll give you a little example here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I don't recommend any certain calculator. They're all great. I use one that I can measure by weight with. Like I said, I like to measure on a scale. It's just my preference. But anyways, here's an example of a recipe. I don't know if you'll be able to. Which way do I go? Anyways, there we go. It'll tell you the mils, the grams, the percent. Game over custard, Mama J's. Anyways, go online, find a calculator. Especially if you're dealing with 100 milligram nicotine, which sounds scary and sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And it's pretty safe. Keep it out of the reach of your kids and all of that kind of stuff. Anyways, here we go. My recipe calls for nicotine 2.27 grams. I'm going to take my nicotine here and fill it up. .07, close enough. The next thing is your propylene glycol, your PG. Tear it out to 0 again. 4.98 grams. Boom, perfect. Now your vegetable glycerin. I make sure and give everything a shake. I already did that previously. VG 24.22 grams. Super easy. We sell these bottles for $1.50. They're the best thing for measuring by weight, man. VG is really thick and it's hard to measure. But if you're measuring on a scale with one of these bottles, it's super easy. A little more. Boom. 24.2, 24, yeah, close enough. And then Mama J's Game Over Custard. That's what all the rage is about. Super good, man. I've been a custard freak for years, and finally came up with my favorite custard and shared it with the world. Anyways, 4.2. We're going to put 4.2 grams. Boom. And that's it, guys. Just like that. 30 mils of e-liquid, 6 milligram, 40 PG, 60 VG. And it took me all of a minute to make. I measure by weight, so all my stuff is still here. I don't have anything to clean up. And this cost me maybe $2 at best, because Mama J's is a little more expensive than other flavorings. But when you think of what you get for that price, it's not that much. Like I said, Game Over Custard is a mix of 10 different flavors in one bottle. So essentially, if you wanted to make Game Over Custard, you'd have to go buy 10 different flavorings to make one bottle of Game Over Custard. So that's where the value comes in. And I think it's a great deal anyways. But so, shake it up, squirt you some in there. Kind of put a lot, but hey, I like it. Oh, man, that is so good. Give me a So anyways, man, that's it. Get out there and DIY, man. It's the only way to go with all the rules and regulations coming up. It's just looking pretty grim for us right now. And if you could learn a skill to make your own liquid, or just to save you money, you know, get out there and check it out. We've got a vendors sub forum on Vaping Underground where you can get a hold of me, get some questions answered, or get a hold of Mama J on Twitter. And keep vaping, man. Keep vaping.